I think. Let me load it up. On YouTube. Yes, just waiting for it to tick over. It has just gone live. Just waiting for everyone to get into the stream and give a proper introduction. So, hello everybody and welcome to round number 13, although the tweet says 12 because I really didn't have a clue what round it was. Round 13 of the SLR T1 Championship today, and a lot has happened since the last time we were here. Last week wasn't here at all. Unfortunately, I was working. Owen, I don't know what Owen's doing, but he wasn't here. To be honest, he's not here tonight either, as you can probably tell. Also, I don't know why he's not here tonight, but we'll find out in due course. Probably watching the Arsenal match, as far as I know. I think Arsenal are playing tonight. I can't remember. Or is that just next week? Yes, we are streaming. But as you can see by the qualifying, very interesting indeed. The top 10 separated by a second, and more importantly, I mean the top 8 half a second between them, which is crazy to think at the moment, as CYP is currently P6. Also, we've got a few new guys, obviously with our changing times and everything. Some people can't make them times, so we've got the likes of Speedster back in the Toro Rosso, replacing Petrus. Unfortunately, couldn't compete anymore. CYP lighting up the tyres. We've got Ben Gallagher making like an appearance, so he'll be hoping to do something else. We've got Berrien is a bit of a reserve, and everyone else is pretty normal. Obviously, at the back, AJ and Jose will be hoping to improve their times. We've got 2 minute 30 of qualifying remaining on this legendary track at Spa-Francorchamps, and yeah, it was an absolutely amazing track. Pretty much redesigned in 1982, well, redesigned to race in F1 in 1982 anyway, and it's been pretty much ever present since then. There's a few different, let's say, layouts I suppose, like the chicane up Eau Rouge at one point for safety, which was very debatable. I prefer Eau Rouge as it is. It's an amazing corner and an unbelievable track for racing, especially when it's so close as it is at the moment. Obviously, surface leading championship. I don't quite remember who won last week actually. I'm really not up to date at the slightest. But all I can tell you is we've got surface on provisional pole with a 42.9 at the moment, with Kalkas chasing him down. His championship rival with Speedster just a tenth behind. These two with Doan putting a really good lap there of a 0.1. He's currently out there on track as well, so this is the last moments in qualifying. CYP can't improve. The Pirate has improved to P9 with a 43.7 there, so that puts him inside it, as it looks like Kalka's improving by 3.3 tenths and a half. So will he be able to be the man to display service and stick himself on that provisional pole, or even pole position itself? He needs to put in a performance, does the Finn, to have any chance of closing that gap before the end of the season. As he comes around the final corner now, running a little bit wide, but he's going to come around the final corner now, and is he going to be provisional pole? It is, and it's a 42.8. He lost a bit of time in that last few corners, as you may have seen. Rumbo with Doan, who's not improving too much, who's Blunt, who's a bit further down in the lap. He's about half a tenth down, I think. Not much really in it, but will he be able to make a few tenths up in this final few corners? Did he mess it up on his lap? We'll soon find out. Will he be able to jump up a few positions, maybe into the top 3 maybe, as he comes across the line now? Will he be able to improve on his time? The answer is no, half a tenth down. We've got Doan on a lap, who's 2.5 tenths down. I think that's the end of his lap. He's given up the ghost. Speedster has also given up the ghost. So we've got Milix Jr. in P5 now, chasing the top 2. Speedster obviously out now. We've got Dario as well, who's got a lot in his locker, and Culvero, who's also got a similar thing as the Finn. And then we've pretty much got everybody else. Danny crosses the line with a 2 minute 3. We'll not mention that too much, as we're looking at Berra and Connor, as it looks like, I think it was Jose there late on there with P14, just behind Skin Up on them supers. I don't know why Skin Up has gone with the mediums, but Pony qualifies P12 just behind Ben Gallagher there. As Connor comes to line now, and it's nothing special from him, and it's neither Berra as well. We'll go for further forward, and Surface was unable to improve on his time, and so that is him out of this. Is same with Doan, who is also unable to improve his time. So Will, Milix or Dario, we're going on board Dario, is improving by half a tenth, which does not do a lot for him. Might be able to get Blunt, CYP as well, possibly if he has a good last few corners. He's going to chuck it into the right and left of the bus stop, and round the final corner he goes now. Will he be able to get anywhere near the pole? He just gets Blunt, and Milix is retired from the session. So that has been the qualifying session. We're just waiting for Ben Gallagher. He's improving by 3 tenths actually. So will he be able to get P9 away from the Pirate? That seemed a little bit slow. Last corner, is it? Yeah, he actually improved. That's probably why he improved, but he'd invalidated it. Otherwise, it probably would have been P9. I think that was his max. Anyway, with everybody else a little bit further forward. But what a qualifying session that is! Half a second covers the top 8 positions on our grid, and very competitive indeed, it's fair to say. Prediction, Berra for podium. I can't imagine that happening, but that has been your qualifying. Obviously outside of that it's very spread out, especially Danny's time. But I think it'll be a much closer race. Hopefully we get a good race, not enough, we don't want incidents getting in the way. That's been our problem recently, I think, just little incidents just getting in the way. But today Kalkis is on top of that pole position, and he's in the best position to win this one, and it should be a great race, and hopefully it delivers. But is it raining? Does anyone know if it's raining or not? Is it going to rain? I mean, can someone give me an update or something? Because it's looking a bit dark. No. Okay. Well, Danny, you're in for a bad race. You only seem to have a good race when it chucks it down. It seems you're the Rainmaster, I suppose. Like you only win in this league. The USA last week, you absolutely blitzed the field on that occasion. In Canada this season, podium from last, pretty much. From nowhere, really. It's like you've got traction control on with everyone else not having it. I don't know how you'd manage that. Please, no glitches. Thank you, Lord. I've had that, it was just loading, and it never loads. But we have not got that today, but we'll have a nice run through the grid for you as we head around this track. It's a really cold track, as you can see, with the overcast conditions. And Kalkis, the Finn, was in P2 in the championship. I think KP is no longer with us as well. He'll have to chat without seeing anything, really. So I don't know about his championship challenge. I think that's kind of gone out. I don't think he really had one, to be honest, but if he did, it was gone out the window now. We've got Surface in second, the championship leader, obviously chasing his first championship since Thorium has gone. He's got half a chance now. I mean, if he came back, he'd probably win it from this position, to be honest. Knowing Thorium's talent, so he could just blitz anybody anytime. Just name it. As Speedster is in P3 on his return, he'll be happy with that. And the Torosso replacing Petrus, showing similar pace to Petrus. Petrus has always had that. He had the pace. Obviously, he won, I think, 2 races. I can't remember. Top of my head, I'll have a quick look. He definitely won a race, did Petrus. Yeah, he won the 1 race, and then obviously hasn't been back since, really. Obviously Doan, we've not seen the best of Doan yet. Well, the standards need updating, don't they? I'll have to do that after this race, I think. I'm trying to look at it. Doan's had a couple of decent results, but not shown the sort of pace I'm seeing right now. As Milix is in P5, CYP the has P6, Dario has shown glimpses as well in P7. Blunt seems to be top 5 all the time, but not really threatening the win. Unfortunately, in the Ferrari, a bit like a Kimi, I suppose. I don't think the only win he's got is Suzuka last season. The Pirate has come back in P9. The Greek Kulvano has been noted by his on the grid. Ben Gallagher returns and showing better pace than when he left, let's put it that way. Maybe a bit more different league experience helped him. Pony, AJ, Skin Up, Connor, Jose, Berra, Duino, and Danny is the good eye to run faster for last few. And we've got 19 today, so very nice grid to see. It's nice to see so many people turning up this week. Got more people in the grid in watching the stream, so take that as for what you will. But we are ready. The green flag is waving as we are waiting for the lights. I mean, this is a very long camera view, isn't it? Into turn 1, as the 5 lights are going out, can't really see a lot. And the lights are out and away we go, and this is an absolute shocking camera angle. That is a much better one, as Kaukas has got away really well. So is Surface taking the outside line. There's a few people on his inside though, including Doan, Milix. Milix got the better exit though, and Dario, who's famous for his good start. So they're going 3 wide into Eau Rouge. The Pirate has shot up. His ship is not sinking on this occasion as Blunt gets past Dove as well. Oh, there's a big crash in the background. I think it's CYP crashing at the top of Eau Rouge, but I think he's got away with it, so he could carry on. But back further forward, we're looking at Blunt on Speedster possibly, no, but the Pirate is up into P5, so fair play to him. Ben's up into P9. I think the only person that really got tangled there is CYP. I think he might have lost it at the top of the hill. Don't know if he was involved in an incident. Here goes Speedster and his Torasso, and Pirate on the outside gets squeezed out in the end, and that Speedster back up into P5. As he didn't have the greatest of starts, has dropped down 2 positions. Dario's made the best of starts of anybody as Speedster uses the grass there, which is not going to help him as in his defence of the Pirate, who's going to get a little bit of a tow, but not enough to make a difference. Danny's up into P14 already, making one of them characteristic starts, and then he'll probably disconnect and disappear off the face of the planet. But we've got some battles further back, but we're going to stick with the front for now, as everyone is close and congested at the start, except for Kalkas, who's gone, and ice cool as he is, go off in the distance. Hopefully he does not Bottas it this week and get involved in too many incidents. As here goes Blunt and the Pirate. There's contact between the two, and from what I saw there, the Pirate gave him enough room, but it's very difficult to see with a POV. Here goes Danny on the inside of Pony. And here goes No Way Jose, an optimistic move around the outside, and Pony is just going backwards as AJ is now looking around the outside of Pony, and will he be able to do it into turn 1? And here we go, using the wider line, and Pony, the inside line, manages to get into the corner a lot better than the Irishman. But up the hill we go, a bit of slipstream, will he able to get the racing point back at the top of the hill. Here goes AJ. A bit of slipstream, will he be able to make it work? Still slipstreaming, doesn't seem to have the straight line speed. He should be catching, but it seems the other way around. And Pony catching Jose, and that was late on the brakes, and Pony nearly loses the car. She does lose the car, but not enough to make a difference. I think Ben's had a bit of an incident because Culverno's moved up a position, and Danny is in the points, carving his way through the field as he looks at the rear of the Haas, the Haas of the Ben Gallagher Haas. Unfortunately Thomas could not be here this week, and will he be able to make a move as Ben clips the curb, and Danny has to take avoiding action, and fair play to him to make that move. I think is that Danny with a bit of a yeah, it is Danny with a bit of a contact there, and Jose makes the move, and to be fair it's a bit scrappy in the middle, and Danny spins and AJ hits him, and that's left Danny in the middle of the track with Berra picking up the pieces. I think Blunt and CYP both pit, as here goes Duino for a spin as well, and that's that battle over and done with, I suppose, as Berra is out of the race. I mean, he seemed to avoid it all, and then all of a sudden he's out. But Speedster's falling off the back of Dario a little bit. A second is the gap, as he's struggling keep up with the front lot. Everyone's trying to keep up with Calcas and struggling. I don't know what the tyres are. I think the top 10 went on to be soft. So the highest medium is Pony, and he was having a bit of a nightmare down there. So there's not much to go on from that. But here goes Milix on surface, who seems to be struggling. He seems to struggle in the early phase of the race. Maybe try saving a little bit. I'm not sure. As Milix seems to be the second quickest car on track at the moment. Behind Calcas is Doan and the Pirate are having a bit of a ding dong, and it looks like the Pirate, with much superior traction on the outside, has managed to keep the position. And then there comes the two McLarens, I suppose, but in totally different battles. You've got the top 8 and then everybody else at the moment, who are all over the place at the moment. As I think Ben Gallagher pit after that. He can only really blame himself. He clipped that inside curb and it threw him into Danny, really. And then it was just mayhem after that. But Skin Up has made a move on Jose, who's ran very wide into Puon. But again, Milix, with a bit of DRS on the next time round, should be able to fly past surface. Because he's definitely close enough to make a move on the Greek. It's just all about picking your moment as we head now onto lap number 4 of this race. As there's an incident in sector 2, I don't know who that is. Maybe it's someone at the back. I think it's Ben Gallagher going for a little bit of a spin, but here's Milix's chance on the Renault. A bit of slipstream and DRS. Will he be able to get past the ever consistent surface, but not quite outright paced surface at the top of the hill? As here goes Milix. And now he opens that DRS wing down the straight. Surface goes defensive. Oh, he's looking for that gaff, isn't he, Milix? He tries forcing it, but he goes round the outside. Does the Mercedes on the Renault? He's had to take a void in action, and I reckon Surface will get that back. But for how long for? These two will be involved in a few incidents. With all the front guys have been involved in a few incidents, but it looks like Milix is going to get that position ahead of Surface. And now can Dario make that move, as Doan and Culvin are also going head to head, and so Pony and No Way Jose a bit further back. I think Pony's got ahead of Jose, with his tyres starting to not so much fall through, maybe overheat a little bit. As Ben Gallagher is retired, there goes Doan for a big slide, and Puon has caught him out in these cold conditions, and that's him round, and he's going to be joining Skin Up in a second. Skin Up will just see the Williams in the foreground. There he is, so he's dropped a heap of time, and that's allowed the front guys to get a bit of relief. I mean, the mistakes are just creeping in, and unfortunately it's ruining the race a little bit. But I wonder if Milix can try and catch up to Calcas, or is it just a slipstream train at the moment? There's an incident in sector 3 there, and I think that's Pony as he's dropping down the order. We're going to go off board with Dario, who looks to be next up for him on surface, who doesn't seem comfortable at the moment. It's fair to say. Maybe he's relying on penalties a bit, as he has done on several occasions this season to win a race. As he heads up the hill now this time, will Dario be able to keep it in one piece? Yeah, nice and smooth from the Alpha driver, and with a bit of DRS now, will he be able to make a move, or is it just too much because Surface has got that DRS on Milix at the end of the straight? But it won't be enough on this occasion. But he's definitely getting a massive boost. Speedster will be hoping he can catch up to these guys, because he's just a little bit off at the moment. Culvervo is in P6, with the Pirate sitting in behind, 7 tenths back from the Finn. Skin Up's in a world of his own, and AJ and Jose always seem to have a similar pace, and they are together at the moment, and having their own little battle. The most interesting part of this race is the front lot. Obviously, undercutting might be something into effect. Maybe that's Calcas as well, trying to get out of that. Calcas has only got the 1 warning. Milix has got 2. Surface has got 1. Dario's already got a penalty. So Speedster hasn't got anything, so that'll be his trump card, I suppose, in this race. As it looks like Surface is going to make a move on Milik. Be very brave to do it into Belgium on there, but on this occasion does not look for it. But with Dario trying to make the move while Surface is a little bit out of shape in the last corner. Is he close enough to make that dive bomb? It looks like he's going to try it. Why not? Down the inside. Will Surface have to concede the position? As they go side by side up into Eau Rouge. Dario is known for being fairly, let's say, robust with his moves. But on this occasion, I think he'll just fly past and Surface will have to concede the position, and he's off the podium now. Temporarily off the podium, should I say. Obviously, he's got a penalty as Dario, and also speeds are starting to close in on these guys as these are battling. So it'll be interesting to see if they all come into a bit of a contact. Into like a 5-way battle, I suppose. 4-way battle, I mean. Cover was a bit too far back for that. But Kalkuz is starting to get away now. 3 seconds is the gap between the leader and P2. And Pony gets 3-second penalty. Interesting. As Dario is all over the back of Milik. And I said Milik's had the second best pace, but it's not showing it, is he? Maybe it's just a slipstream DRS keeping everyone in range. Although Surface is starting to fall into speeds as clutches. The Toro Rosso driver will be hoping to make his move on his fellow esports teammate. Right, except for that, there's a lot happening. I mean, Danny and Blunt into sector 2. That'll be further back, I presume. Like, oh, it's Connor. Don't worry about it too much. Speedster and Surface both pit. So, will there be a bit of holding up or anything like that? Or any jumping in the pit? So I don't think they're not close enough to jump. So Surface is already away and Speedster's not in his box yet. Bengala has given up the ghost, but Surface has come out just ahead. But I think Speedster's a lot closer than he was when he came in. As they come around that corner, Surface trying to bolt away out of the pit lane, but for no cigars. Milik has been overtaken by Dario at the top into Lake Com, so that's him up into P2. Milik's dropping back to P3. But yeah, it's starting to spread out. Waiting for the pit stops again as Dona's made a move on Duino for P11. Obviously these two have had fairly contrasting races. Duino had his spin, Dona had his spin. Basically 4 feet to the right to be at the top of the order. Milik's obviously the front 3 yet to pit. No, the front 6 yet to pit. Surface is gaining on, skin up a little bit. That'll be a problem for him because he's got to overtake him, and maybe that'll disadvantage the Renault. As we're only to sector 2, that's CYP retiring from the race, as that's a 3rd retirement. So Danny's going to make a move on Connor, and Kalkuz is in the pits. So where will he come out in terms of where Surface is? Will the undercut be that strong? I think he'll be fine for the lead. Yeah, Kalkuz is coming around now and the Surface is coming around that final corner. You'll be able to see him in the distance there. He is the Alpha just going around the bend there up Eau Rouge. And Radion. I must say that before anyone starts, so tell me it's not. But Dario Milik's yet to pit, going a bit longer. Trying to get a bit more better tyre weight at the end of the race will be the aim. I always get tired in fucking commentaries. As AJ has made a move on Jose there. These two just swapping positions at the moment. Speedster. Dropped back a little bit, a few tenths, dropped out of the DRS as well. He'll be hoping to get back in those. Interesting what line they're using there, they're running onto the grass pretty much. There you go, surface on skin up, so they've closed up to him very quickly. And that's the difference between Cal, because he's got ahead of skin up and he's over 3 seconds ahead. Nearly 4 now. So surface doesn't have the pace in this race, unfortunately for him. And I think it's going to give Calcas the win unless a mistake happens as Milix and Dario make a move. And oh, that was very close. And he's putting his race at risk there, surface, as he gets past skin up. Or does he? As Speedster's eager to get past the Red Bull. But it's going to be difficult under DRS because he's going to get DRS. Surface is coming around the final corner now. I think he's going to get the jump on Dario and all them guys. There's Dario coming between them. Will he be able to get out? Milix is coming out behind all of them. So Speedster's done the jump on Milix. And they're all going up over Rouge. Dario's getting all out of shape with them cold tyres. Trying to keep ahead of Skin Up. Skin Up doesn't care about this. He just wants a battle. Because, no offence, he's in no man's land. As he tries it down the inside of Dario. Dario's got a bit of DRS to defend with though. It does go down the inside his span. Speedster takes the long way round. If he gets a warning or anything, I'm pretty sure it'll be removed. But it's put Milix all over the back of Speedster because he didn't really have to take avoiding action. Oh, it's hit the back of him. Going into the corner, I'll never remember. Rivage. So, rings a bell. Rivage, yeah, that rings a bell. Could be Rivage. There's another corner Rivage, so maybe they'll... I don't know. I'm debating. Let me have a look. I mean, I could be right, I could be wrong. I can never remember. Rivage. Oh no, that's Brussels. There isn't a Rivage. That's fucking Monaco, isn't it? Yeah. It's all becoming to make sense now. I've got the majority of them right. There's the pirate comes into the pit, so he'll just drop behind all these as well. Behind Culvino as well. He's actually made a bit of a gain on these guys. About 2.5 seconds. As oh, the surface made a mistake. He's behind it. All of these guys now, Dario included. VSC is out due to the incident with Danny there. Send it to the stewards. But yeah, Dario's now up to P2. Calcas has got the lead he wants. 6 seconds up the road at the moment, probably about 5 actually. As it will come down. Dario's now in P2. Speedster's somehow in P3 after Surfaces made a mistake. All these guys are very similar paced. But who will bolt it? Because this VSC usually means that someone will bolt it at the end and risk the penalty. Like there. And it looks like Milix go away a little bit better than the rest of them. And same with Culvino. Look how much he's gained on speed on surface, because his surface will have to be aware of Culvino's pace. But I'll never say that name right, I could show you. But here goes Milix into Blangemont. Will he be able to do anything, or will Speedster be able to make a move on Dario? He tries it down the inside. There's contact between the two, there's contact between the three. As Milix is trying to just get an exit on Speedster, he's not quite managed it on this occasion. And Speedster locks up into the turn 1. He's going to get a slightly better exit than Milix, but at the top of the hill on Radion, he's going to get caught. Because he's a little bit too far behind. He's only 2 attempts off. And look at the run Milix has got through. Rouge and Radion there at the top of the hill. And Speedster's going to get a bit of a run on Dario. Dario's going to go defensive, predictably. But Speedster's turned defensive to attack here. He's going to lock up into Lake Com at the top of the hill. There goes Milix right round the outside, which turns to the inside. That's an absolutely fantastic move from Milix Jr. Opportunistic at its best to get his way up back onto the podium ahead of Speedster. He got caught napping trying to overtake Dario, and yeah, it's a beautiful overtake. I mean, he just kept it pinned. The car didn't look like it was moving all over the place. Maybe he broke himself slightly. Surfaces Milix picks up a first penalty, and maybe that might be his problem, because Speedster got 2 penalties, warnings like that. Milix got 2 pens. Dario's only got the 1. Looks like Calcus is going to be fine for the race win on this occasion. But yeah, brilliant move from Milix as he will now try and keep in DRS range of Dario. And this is becoming a race of nutrition for all these guys, trying to do the best they can to keep in DRS range and not getting penalties. Obviously, these two are on newer tyres, so maybe surface and speed will start dropping off now. 2 laps the difference between them. As we head down the Camel Straight, at the top of the hill, will Milix be able to make a move on Dario? He's looked probably the best place for second place. He's made a move on Connor, but it doesn't look like he's going to get in the points today. But Milix at the top of the hill goes under DRS, and he's going to move back up into second place and move Dario back down again. But can they build a gap on Speedster? Surface has dropped behind Corvo, so he just does not have any pace today. The Surface is down. I mean, I don't see him slipping any further back than he is. I mean, the Pirate's on newer tyres, but I don't think he's got the pace on Surface. Surely not. But there's Pony says fastest lap, which will not count as. Oh, Corvo's binned it. The Finn has lost his cool. Went a little bit too quick into Puan, chucked it in, did not stick. But to be fair to Milix and Dario, they are keeping the gap to Calcas quite well. Just 5 seconds. It was like that after the VSC. So it's still exactly the same. But even if they do catch him, penalties will play their part. There goes Dario under the DRS. As Milix sets the fastest lap of the race, actually. So fair play. So they have been catching this lap. I don't know what Calca's laps have been looking like. It's been pretty consistent across the board. I mean, the worst lap was a 48.0. And except for that, it's been well in the 47s. He set his fastest lap 2 laps ago. 47.1. So about 2 tenths on that occasion. Milix was quicker, but Dario we're a bit slipstream. Gets past and he's back into P2. The Pirate has been overtaken by Corvo. He's about 4 seconds off of surface. A bit difficult to catch that gap as the Pirate picked up a penalty from running wide a little bit there. And Doan's coming back into this race. He could have really been in the fight today if he wouldn't have made that mistake. Not for the win, but for a podium, possibly. Just unlucky. There's Milix. Oh, nearly lost it there on the curb. Nearly lost it on that one as well. I was in the gravel as well. Speedster will be looking at this. He was... oh, he's all slidey. What? Has he overheated his tyres? Because he's lost a significant amount of time there. And nearly lose it on that curb. He's ice skating out there, he's not even driving. As his tyres, they wouldn't have gone off already. They just hitting a little bit of a cliff. We've gone into sector 2, we'll see what that is. Connor. Again, it's Jose versus the back end through poo on. But we've had some grandstand finishes in these races before, you know. Season 3, arguably the best race we've ever had, with Santagistu binning it on top of Radion, and then Fodbold being able to overtake, I think it was... Who did they overtake at the top of the hill? Do you know, all the time I can't remember. So just opened it, he overtook somebody at the top of... Who was it? Remember, Nathan? Oh, it's too long ago to remember. That's gonna haunt me, that is. Nope, it's gone. But Pirate and Cover were still fairly close. Got Speedster, 1.5 seconds the gap between him and Milix. His Pony has given up the ghost. That's 5 out of the race, which is about average, to be honest. But Connor, Duino, Jose, Skinner, Blunt's in the points now, by the way. Fair play to him. Keep carrying on. Going to Sector 1. Maybe it's just his retired car. There goes the Pirate on Corvo. Into the final few corners in the bus stop. He's unable to make a move with a bit RS now. Will he be able to get back past? Not quite. Cover was at 2. The Pirate at 2. That's a legitimate fight. As Duino is retired. As well. There goes the Pirate. Will he look around the outside? No. Not quite close enough this time. And the front lot started to space out like 1.5 seconds between them all. Milix has picked up his pace, but he's a bit too far back onto it. Dario is outside that DRS range, so that'll be difficult to close. As Connor has overtaken No Way Jones. I don't know how he's got in the points. Connor, every time I'm bored with him, he's spinning. So maybe... He's got a really good pace, but no consistency. Seems that way. The Pirate will be able to make something happen. His skin up span, I think. He's had a bit of a disaster of a race. So he was kind of doing alright, and then I don't know what happened after his pit stop. Oh no, he spanned, didn't he? I remember now. That's why he's out of the points. But this is the only battle really on track. At the moment. But the thing for Kaukas is Surface, I think we'll be finishing P5. And Surface has picked up no penalties whatsoever. Speedster got 2 warnings maybe for contact. Milix got 2. Dario's got 2. So 6 seconds for Milix. Oh, he'll go ahead of Milix, but I don't think he'll get ahead of Dario. So P4, that's still 13 points swing in Kaukas' way, and that's probably what I need. Sorry about Liverpool scored. So I'm happy about that. But the Pirate Culver is still in battle. Milix has dropped 3 seconds off Dario, so that pretty much confirms him. I mean, 3, 4.5, 5.5. He's got to get another half tenth in that. I think he can get that. I think Dario's okay. In terms of the gap between him and Surface, I think Speedsters are going to get him. He's got to pull out a gap a little bit. There goes the Pirate for P6 again on Culvero. No, not quite. As he makes a move there, gets better traction on the exit. And down the inside, will the Pirate manage to do it? No, it looks like he's going to get squeezed down the outside. Will he do a switchback move? He tried, but it kind of fades out. So you're going to find it difficult to do that. As Jose and Connor, I think, spinned it again. Or is Pitt? Not Pitt, because he's not that far behind. But the Pirate runs wide there. Oh no, Culvero runs wide there. I'm pretty sure Pirate had the McLaren at some point. Might have gave it away. I can't remember. Yeah, it definitely was in the McLaren. Papaya. Will it be a DRS? Maybe? No. I thought there was DRS there, maybe not. Maybe a bit slipstream, will it be able to make a move on Culvero, or just sit back? It looks like he's going for it, but he's going to swing it for a DRS on the main straight. I thought there were 3 DRS zones, and I thought that was one of them. I'm wrong. I think that little straight there into turn 1 is the most pointless DRS zone ever. To be honest. So they won't have on there to encourage overtaking up the top of Radion, or in Radion side by side anyway. They won't really encourage it. But we're at the top of it now on the camel straight, and looks like the Pirate's going to make another move. I think Culvero's got a bit of front wing damage as well. So that's probably why he's struggling for pace. So that's handicapping him a little bit, and that's our Dove to catch up. So getting a bit of a scrap going on here. Interesting enough, Dario has caught Kalkas quite a bit. Maybe he's 3.6 seconds now. He's definitely put the afterburners on. He's been quicker. It is 6.8. I mean, he's got penalties beyond his life. I mean, he'd have to crash to win this race, Dario, but he's definitely picked up the pace. He's gained about 1.4 seconds. Only if them penalties didn't exist, then maybe, just maybe, it's in question. But Surface has managed to get past Speedster, so I don't know if that's tactical or not, or just Speedster's not quite been able to keep the pace up. But the gap between Dario and Surface is 6.1, 6.2, so he should be fine, whereas Milix is a bit out of the range. Yeah, it's always nice to see people progress. Always. It makes you believe it's possible. But here goes the Pirate on Culvero again, and he's going to pretty much be a sitting duck. On Dome. And will there be a bit of a last move for these guys, as Dona's got a massive exit on Culver. He goes to the inside, Culver's not even fighting it, and Doan's got the position in his Williams. If he'd play him to the outside, I think he'd have a chance to keep in the position, because you can push him off, pretty much. I'm presuming you're talking about that Alfie and Ben, pretty much, because I can't remember much of them else. Maybe the Pirate for a little while. I think that was season 2 or 3. It was a long time ago. The Pirate sets his across his lap, I think. Kind of going from down. But again, everything. Yeah, I know about that. But yeah, we're coming to the back end of the race. It sort of died out by the end. It kind of always goes this way. I don't understand. The qualifying is so close. It's unbelievably close all the time. And then races. It's going to be a race where it's going to be unbelievably close, but it's yet to come. Dario's been able to catch at the end. I don't know if Carcass is backing off a little bit or trying to just get to the end in a better way. But Dario's pretty much got it under 3 seconds now. But obviously can't make that time up. If there's a 100% race he could, but obviously that's not the case. Interesting, Millix has been caught. Speeds taps his Livid Racing teammate into turn 1, and with 2 laps to go, we're going to get a battle for P3 here as it gets a bit hairy out of there from the 2 Livid drivers, but a bit of DRS. Will they be able to get past Millix, former VP driver, former Livid driver himself, and current SLR team driver? As Doan gets past Pirate, and that's probably right to this moment, but Millix has had a horrible exit, and that's surface. So I think they've been saving the tyres, because Millix is nowhere at the moment. He's dropped so much pace. I don't know if he's had a little bit of a wheel spin, but here goes Speedster as well, and that's him up into P4. Or is it? I don't think there's any contact there. His Millix tries to hold it around the outside. There isn't much room for the Mercedes. Ooh, very close racing from the 2, but very respectful as well, to be fair to them. And Millix nearly finds himself in the wall. As we head on to the final lap, and these 2 will carry on to battle. I think Millix will be on the attack now. Into the bus stop, getting absolutely everything. And now he's got the inside line on the Toro Rosso. The Toro Rosso is going to be forced wide, but keeps enough room there. And why did Millix let off? Did he think it was the end of the race? It certainly isn't. I think he thought it was the end of the race. She's run out of ERS as well. Oh, Millix has blown it. But Surface is back onto the podium. Decent recovery drive, but it was never really a recovery. He just didn't quite do it. unfortunately for him. But yeah, this has pretty much been the race now. Kalkas is coming round in his Alfa Romeo to take the win, another win this season. He'll be hoping that will reignite the challenge. I think the gap's around 30-35 points. That'll close a little bit, but he needs to start getting a bit of a strut together to win this championship. A bit of a run together at the end of this season with a Finn, but he could come to the line, and he's done what Santiago couldn't. He's won the Belgium Grand Prix as a Finnish driver, with Dario coming home in second, and it will be second because the penalties. Surface will get. Did Dario get another penalty? Oh, okay. I'll rephrase that. Surface got second. Dario get third. I don't know if he'll get a penalty removed or something. Speedster in P4. Milix in P5. Doan P6 in the end. Fair play to him for recovering. Pirate P7. Corvo P8. Speedster Blunt looks to get P9 with AJ in P10. It seems that way anyway, if he can make it to the line as he picks up missing the bus stop. But here goes Connor and Skinnup. Will any of these two get the final point? Skinnup gets a free stick penalty as he gets to the line. Oh, Skinnup does get the final point. AJ, P12 and Noe Jose will get the P13. We talk about Noe Jose, he'll be back in an hour to, well, half an hour to commentate on the A1 race, which will be live from him. I don't believe I'll be racing myself. I've got a few different people to come in this week, so hopefully we can get a nice commentary out of it for him. Yeah, penalties cost Dario on that occasion. Well, fuck me.
colours society in many ways. And I think if you're a decision maker, if you're part of the establishment, do something about it now. Don't talk about what you're going to do in a month's time, in 6 months' time, in a year's time. Act on it now. It's with us now. It's current. It's here. It's in our face. Deal with it now. Be strong. Don't be shy. Don't be timid. Stand up to these village idiots and chase them as far down the road as you possibly can, because it just cannot go on. It's a reflection.
Would it be good for the team? He's not a bad lad, let's put it that way. That is, bro. It's a nice answer.
I've been informed that the stream is still on. Bye bye.